Welcome back to Miles Around. It's now time for our second in the driver's seat. We're going to take a look at this. This is the 2008 Expedition. Now, originally slated as a replacement for the Bronco, in some formats this seats 9 people, right, Dennis?
That's right. It's actually a counterpoint to, say, GMC or Chevrolet Suburban. It's the competition for the big SUV. Now, a lot of these vehicles were born from the make it bigger, make it badder era of the late 80s and early 90s, where everybody wanted to make an even bigger, even badder, well, SUV. This vehicle, with its lower emission V8 and 6-speed transmission, actually give you better mileage and lower carbon dioxide as far as what comes out of the back end. Now, we're going to look at a very useful interior, both for kids or for adults, and we're also going to look at the driving dynamics of the new suspension and all-wheel drive system. But now let's pop the big giant hood on this thing and take a peek.
Now we have the hood open of the 2008 Ford Expedition. You can actually see it has one of those great V8 Ford engines. If there's one thing that Ford are really good at, it's making those large engines that put out a lot of power and a lot of torque, right, Dennis?
Well, that's true, but they also have a lot less emissions now. This 5.4-liter V8 behind me has 300 horsepower and 365 pounds-feet of torque, but more importantly, it has 45% smog emissions. Now, what that is it just has less fluorocarbons and less stuff that's bad, as they all think that the SUVs have, coming out the tail end of this thing while it burns gas. Now, it does have 4-wheel independent suspension with a multi-link in the back and short long arm suspension in the front, but it's the bigger brakes, it's the car-like suspension that makes the big rigs like this drive like, well, a smaller SUV that nowhere near any other SUV could do back in, say, the 80s or even the 70s. You know, the driving dynamics of these vehicles are exactly what people are looking for and what the demographic wants. They're kind of lumbering and they're kind of soft, but you know what? Grandma or mom or dad or someone that uses it for their business or pleasure doesn't want a sport utility that has this harsh ride. They don't want a sports car. They want a big, comfortable vehicle. There's a lot of Americans out there, and I don't mean to single out one group or other. There's just a lot of people out there that still want that big SUV feel, and they can get it right here in the Expedition. Well, you know what? It's big, it's black, and it is ominous. You know, the new front end of the Ford family does derive from that Super Duty. You know, it has this big, giant, powerful front end that really does exude power in the design. You know, some design studios show it as like a punch forward. It's that haunch shoulders. It's the kind of chest out feel. And you know what? This vehicle has it. Now, this is a limited model. It does have some nice extra fender flares, and the all black does make it look a little more sinister, but you know what? If you're looking for a big SUV and you want some real style, this could be just the rig for you. Nick?
Now you can see the effect of this humongous vehicle. I'm 5'4", and I'm sure I probably can't even touch the roof of this vehicle or get my hand up on the roof rack. That's how enormous it is. This vehicle also has all the great things on the exterior that you'd expect from a top-of-the-line SUV, with signal lights embedded in the mirrors, and also the steps here, the running boards. It's really excellent. The tinted glass and also the large rear end. And don't forget, this vehicle actually seats 9 passengers. I think it looks good, it feels good, and it's everything you need in a piece of American machinery.
Well, now that we're going to move to the inside of the new Expedition, you have to make sure that, you know, it's kind of a yin and yang. Yeah, it's big and it's black and it looks good from the outside. That new motor with lower emissions, I think, is a high point. The all-wheel drive and plush ride do actually give you a lot of what the buyer's looking for, but it's the inside. It's the time with all the cubbies and the space, the third row with power folding rear seats, and especially the room of the vehicle. You know, I joke about it all the time about being a bigger guy, and I drive around with guys that are, well, just guys. It's a guy's car, you know. You don't have to be 5'4" like Nick in the back. Yeah, sure, he'll find a lot of room back there, but you know what? A big SUV delivers that room and comfort.
And it has got a lot of amenities. We've complained about some of the Fords in the past not having some of the things in the back that you need, but this has all the handles in the right place. The actual entertainment system is excellent. It has exterior AV jack, so you can plug your camera in or whatever you want. And also it has extras like the seats actually unzip and you can get to the inside of the seat. Perhaps you've lost something or you got something wet. They've thought of everything in this car. The interior is really a piece of Ford excellence.
That's true. Take it from a guy with a small family. This is a great vehicle.
we've come to the part of the show when, Dennis, I'm going to need your 2 ups, 5 ups. I'm not sure how many you're going to give this vehicle, and your 1 down.
Well, you know what? From a family's point of view, and that's what I have now, I'm not a single guy running around in a convertible anymore. You know, this vehicle really is, as I said, the way that technology can bring a big SUV up to date. You know, the styling is great. I think it looks like the new Super Duties. The ride and the control on the road is a bit soft, but I think the person that's driving this is looking for that. They're looking for comfort, and they're looking for control along with it. This vehicle delivers that. Now, my down might be the fact that I think there's too small of a gap in between the price of this particular vehicle and the Navigator. The Navigator might be that upscale that someone's looking for, but for me, the Expedition would do just fine.
My ups for this vehicle are simple. I have to agree with you, the styling. In fact, this vehicle now has more class with the new styling than it's ever had before. My other up for the vehicle has got to be the inside and the entertainment system at the back. You know, I'm all about the ICE, in-car entertainment, and this car really delivers everything you need. My downside for this vehicle really is this. The downside is it's still kind of sluggish on the drive. Now, it has a lot of power, but if you want to pick up in traffic, it doesn't quite do it on a dime. Maybe I'm asking a little too much, but you got to find some give and take with this.
He's right. The 2008 Ford Expedition Limited comes standard with a 5.4-liter V8 and a standard 6-speed automatic transmission. The manufacturer's suggested retail price starts at $39,925 with an as-tested price of $48,430. At time of testing, neither city or highway miles per gallon were rated by EPA.